but because of your PYQ analysis and the Tigdams from your thing, I was able to score 90, which was mind-blowing for me personally. So genuinely thank you. I just needed an opportunity to thank you for that. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Also the solution, many coaching institute, they have given prelims 2023. So they are not connecting like this. Just for example, all those cricket archaeologists, just they are giving the name of their association with some government bodies like that only, but they are not digging deep.
No, sir. I also haven't gone through that micro level themes actually. We also follow the more or less same topics on class notes or Tamil Nadu and NCRT, but haven't seen that kind of.
You have been following reference books. You have been following class notes of some coaching institutions, but still you haven't followed or you haven't come across such micro theming being used by UPSC, right?
Because even in Nitin Singhania, the art and culture book, all these quotes are not given. So for quotes like Tindis or 20, I'm hearing for the first time.
Okay, Tindis you have heard for the first time.
Yes.
So isn't that interesting, Jyotsana? Now you said you have followed Nitin Singhania and you have completed your syllabus. Am I correct on saying this?
I was able to answer the questions for ancient poets in the previous attempts, but I haven't prepared exhaustive. Like I would like to know about the sources for these topics.
आपने मैक्रो लेवल पर संगम वेज और संगम लिटरेचर अच्छे से पढ़ रखा है. आई एम श्योर देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. माय क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, हैव यू गॉन दिस माइक्रो और हैव यू डन पीवाईक्यू एनालिसिस जिससे आपको समझ में आ रहा है यूपीएससी संगम वेज से या संगम लिटरेचर से माइक्रो थीम पर क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है rather than asking questions on all those macro areas that are given in our conventional books? Yes, Ambuj.
No, sir. So actually, I have studied from Tamil Nadu state book.
Okay.
So there is no such a structuring is not there, sir.
Alright, guys, let's start. As you can see on your screen, stop superficial prep and go micro. What does this mean, guys? When you are conducting this webinar, there are 66 days to go for the prelims 2024 examination. And what is our present preparation level? How have we equipped ourselves to face UPSC's randomness? Are we putting disproportionate efforts behind macro themes, and are we completely neglecting micro themes that are being asked more and more in greater number in the recent prelims exams? Are we following lazy compilations? Are we following bulky and directionless notes that are not worthy of our time and not worth the ROI? Guys, we'll have a look in detail on all these aspects, and at the end we'll have a look at the Dominate Prelims Score Booster module that I have created for you guys to help you best utilize the next 2 months before prelims examination and get edge in the next 2 months. Guys, we'll be having a look at 3 micro themes. I'm sure roughly 2 months or a little more than 2 months are remaining while we are conducting this session before the prelims exam. And I'm sure you have gone through all the important macro themes. Now, be it Sangam age, be it art and culture, Indian archaeology, or other aspects, other major or macro aspects with respect to ancient, medieval, and modern history. Guys, today we'll be picking up 3 micro themes from history itself to get clarity as to where we are or where we need to put emphasis, and we'll check, are we missing this emphasis as the trends are being followed in the prelims exam. Guys, the first macro theme is themes in Sangam poems. Themes in Sangam poems. Now, why have we taken this theme up as the first micro theme? Guys, let's have a look at questions asked by UPSC in prelims 2022 and prelims 2023 for better clarity. Now, in 2022, UPSC had asked which one of the following statements about Sangam literature in ancient South India is correct. So 4 options were given. And option C said Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. All right. In the next year, in Prelims 2023 paper, UPSC asked a question on Vattakiruttal as to which one of the following explains the practice of Vattakiruttal as mentioned in Sangam poems. Guys, I hope you see the linkage, the micro theme that UPSC has been emphasizing on. 2022 में UPSC बोल रही है कि संगम पोएम्स में वॉरियर एथिक्स का कोई रेफरेंस है ही नहीं, और अगले साल 2023 में यूपीएससी वट्टकिरुटल पे एक डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है, एंड उसका सही आंसर ये है कि अ किंग कमिट्स रिचुअल सुसाइड by starving himself to death, which is nothing but a subset of warrior ethics and morality. Guys, now let's ask ourselves this question, कि when we are preparing Sangam age, Sangam literature, have we gone through the important themes as covered, which are part of the Sangam literature? If our answer is no, then guys, we are not preparing in accordance to the demands of the paper setter, accordance to the demand of UPSC. Now guys, if UPSC asked this question in 2022 with respect to if the Sangam poets had knowledge about the Varna system, if there was reference to warrior ethics, if magical forces were called as irrational and so on, and in the very next year UPSC is asking about Vattakiruttal, pertaining to or relating to the ritual suicide, which is nothing but the ethical and moral derivation of Sangam literature. Guys, let's probe all the major 7 Sangam themes on which UPSC has been paying attention, and questions are likely to be asked in the upcoming years, because this is an important theme UPSC has been following. Which are the important themes in Sangam literature or from the Sangam age? Those are ethical and moral expressions, heroism and bravery, nature and landscape, religious and spiritual themes, social and cultural values, heroism and bravery, lyrical and aesthetic expression. Now we'll have a closer look on all these 7 sub-themes. But before that, I hope you get the linkage when we speak of social and cultural values. So option B said the social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. When we speak of ethical and moral expressions, option C, Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethics. Option D, Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. Point number 4, religious and spiritual themes as covered in Sangam literature. Similarly, Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. Again, it has been covered as part of these 7 themes. Now, going a bit more micro, a level more deeper, guys, what relevance does ethical and moral expression from Sangam age has? Say, for example, poem Vattakiruttal reflects on the consequences of unethical behavior, warning against the betrayal of trust and the breaking of oaths. Now, here we need not have exact data, exact information as to a king committing suicide, because it's a broader poem, and it's a broader theme with respect to consequences of unethical behavior, warnings against betrayal of trust and the breaking of oaths. So that's what ethical and moral expressions mean. And when we face such questions in the examination hall, it becomes more easy for us to deduce the correct answer. Here in this case, option D, committing ritual suicide because of a moral compulsion, because of an ethical compulsion. Fine. Similarly, guys, एक dimension हमने देख लिया, ethical and moral expression. Second one, romance and love. Among the 7 sub-themes, romance and love is an important one. Say, for example, poem Kurunthogai describes the beauty of the natural surroundings as a backdrop for expressing the feelings of love and longing. Poem Marudam by Kapilar portrays the beauty of the Marudha tree and its flowers, using them as metaphors to express the poet's love and desire. Coming back to the original question, guys, यहाँ पर option B बोल रहा था 2022 में the social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Fine. अब यहाँ पर under the head of love and romance, if we get a reference to Marudham or Kapilar, or say for that matter, usage of metaphors or description of beauty of natural surroundings, we are likely to get off guard if we have not gone micro on these 7 important themes in Sangam literature. Moving ahead, theme of nature and landscape. Now, here we have taken an example of poem Purana Nuru, which widely describes the lush landscapes of Tamil Nadu, including rivers, mountains, and forests. It celebrates the bounty of nature and its importance in the lives of the people. Now, if the question asks you, for that matter, if anyone asks you, does Sangam literature deal with celebrating nature or celebrating the bounty of nature? Now you know, yes, Sangam literature celebrates nature or bounty of nature. It has reference to rivers, mountains, and forests. And even if we get a direct reference to Purana Nuru, we should not be caught off guard. Moving ahead, reference to religious and spiritual themes. Religious and spiritual themes. Now, this is again one among the 7 sub-themes under Sangam literature. Guys, poem Ainkunuru references the worship of deities such as Murugan and Vishnu, reflecting the religious beliefs and practices of ancient Tamil society. It portrays the devotion of the poets towards their gods and goddesses. Now, if we get a direct question which has reference to Murugan or Vishnu, we should not be caught off guard. If we have a reference to Ainukuru Nuru, we should not be caught off guard because we have already done that micro level analysis with respect to Sangam age. Moving to the next sub-theme, social and cultural values. In 2022, UPSC had said that the Sangam poets had understanding of the social classification of Varna system, option B, which was the correct answer. Now, coming back to the sub-theme under social and cultural values, guys, poem Patti Na Palai portrays the hospitality and generosity of the Tamil people, highlighting the importance of social bonds and community cohesion. It depicts scenes of feasting and celebration, reflecting the cultural values of sharing and camaraderie. Now, guys, even if here the reference or we don't have the direct reference of Varna system, here it is quite clear that the poets during the Sangam age had good clarity with respect to importance of social bonds and community cohesion, the values of sharing and camaraderie. And even if we have this reference to Patti Na Palai, we should not be caught off guard in the subsequent examination. Moving to the next sub-theme. Guys, the next sub-theme is heroism and bravery. Now here we take the reference of poem Purana Nuru that celebrates the bravery of a chieftain named Pari who courageously defends his people against enemy attacks. Now it depicts Pari's heroic deeds in battle and his unwavering commitment to protecting his community. So sub-theme of heroism and bravery under Sangam literature, reference to chieftain named Pari. Now guys, if we get a match the following question, or if we get a question under this new format, how many of the above statements are correct, and it has a reference to the chieftain Pari, we should not be caught off guard. Or if there is a direct reference to Purana Nuru, we should not be caught off guard. Moving to the last sub-theme under Sangam literature, we started with morality and ethics, which had a direct question in Prelims 2023. This is the 7th sub-theme. The poem Kuru Thogai employs the rich imagery and metaphor to describe the emotions of love and longing. It uses vivid descriptions of natural elements such as flowers, birds, and landscapes to evoke a sense of beauty and romance. Now, if we are faced with a question in the prelims examination hall, and we have this direct reference to Kurun Thogai, we should not be caught off guard. Guys, when in 2023, UPSC had asked this question on verticrutal, majority of the students were caught off guard. सबने संगम एज पढ़कर गए थे एग्जाम में, सबने संगम लिटरेचर के बारे में पढ़ा था. Still, most of the students were caught off guard when they read this particular term, पर्टिक्यूटल, जबकि the signature of this particular question was found in the previous paper itself, 2022 वाला पेपर, जिसमें ऑप्शन में ही यूपीएससी ने क्लियर कर दिया था कि संगम पोएम्स हैव नो रेफरेंस टू वॉरियर एथिक्स। अगले साल वॉरियर एथिक्स पर डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा था वर्टिक्यूटल के ऊपर, एंड स्टूडेंट्स वर कॉट ऑफ गार्ड डिस्पाइट rigorously preparing and rigorously revising Sangam age and Sangam literature. So guys, the last theme that we are discussing is lyrical and aesthetic expression. If you are faced with this reference to the poem Kurunthogai, we should not be caught off guard, and the emphasis of this poem on imagery and metaphor, reference to flowers, birds and landscapes, we should not be caught off guard. Now guys, before moving to the next sub theme, as we started by mentioning this, the number of days to go and how UPSC has been increasing the randomness of the paper. Are we prepared to face the randomness? Are we putting in disproportionate efforts on macro themes? And are we following lazy compilations that are not worth our time and effort? Guys, you can answer in the chat box. You can also raise your hand. I'm sure all of you must have followed Sangam literature, Sangam age. Have you come across these micro themes which are very much being asked by UPSC, not only in the civil services examination, but also the other papers conducted by UPSC, be it the Geo-90s examination, the NDA examination, CDS examination, and other examinations? Have we prepared ourselves for these micro themes that are being asked by UPSC? Guys, raise your hand. I'll allow you to speak. I'll allow you to give your inputs. Bhavya, very quickly, please switch on your camera. You're raising your hand. Bhavya. Yes, you can unmute Bhavya. Yes, Bhavya, you can speak. I think Bhavya is having some network issue. If I unmute you, Shubham, I can see you on the screen, and Ambuj. Shubham, Ambuj, Supriya, and Ritik. Guys, you can unmute. Yes, guys. Ambuj, आपने संगम एज पढ़ रखा है?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. ठीक है. आपने मैक्रो लेवल पर संगम एज और संगम लिटरेचर अच्छे से पढ़ रखा है. I am sure there is no doubt about that. My question to you is, have you gone this micro or have you done PYQ analysis जिससे आपको समझ में आ रहा है यूपीएससी संगम एज से या संगम लिटरेचर से माइक्रो थीम पर क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है, rather than asking questions on all those macro areas that are given in our conventional books? Yes, Ambuj.
No, sir. So actually, I have studied from Tamil Nadu state book.
Okay.
So there is no such a structuring is not there, sir.
Achha, such structuring is not there or such micro analysis is not there. In other words, UPSC is not asking direct questions from that or from those reference books. It is going more micro. ठीक है?
Yes. Yes.
Fine. Others, Shubham, आप बोलो quickly. Shubham, Ritik, Shiv.
No, sir. I also haven't gone through that micro level themes actually. We also follow the more or less same topics on class notes or Tamil Nadu and NCRT, but haven't seen that kind of.
You have been following reference books. You have been following class notes of some coaching institutions, but still you haven't followed or you haven't come across such micro theming being used by UPSC, right?
Yes, sir. That's why I marked the wrong answer in previous attempt.
So you had marked the wrong answer. The Vatterutal answer you marked wrong. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Fine, guys. So again, we emphasize the same thing. अभी जैसे दो स्टूडेंट्स ने बताया कि they have been following notes of some coaching institutions. They have been following standard reference books. किसी ने तमिलनाडु टेक्स्ट बुक की बात की, किसी ने किसी दूसरी किताब की बात की. Still, they were not able to catch these micro themes, or they were not able to prepare themselves for these micro themes which UPSC is asking year after year. And again, the point that we had originally mentioned, lazy compilations हम follow कर रहे हैं. We are not following pinpointed compilations. बल्कि किताबें, बल्कि notes हम follow कर रहे हैं जिसका examination में use नहीं हो रहा है. especially when it comes to topics or subjects like history, ancient history, medieval history, art and culture. These notes based on macro themes are proving themselves to be more or less useless, क्योंकि यूपीएससी वहां से क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछ रही है, and it is equally applicable to other topics, be it polity, geography, current affairs, and so on. Guys, let's quickly move to micro theme number 2. Micro theme number 2 is ancient trading ports. Ancient trading ports. Now, why have we picked up this micro theme? Let's take example from PYQs, questions asked by UPSC in previous years. Now, in 2023, UPSC had asked this question, and it was with reference to ancient South India, Korkai, Pumpuhar, and Mushiri were well known as. Now, the emphasis is on Korkai, Pumpuhar, and Mushiri, and they were well known as what? They were well known as ports. Again, in 2020, 3 साल पहले UPSC had asked this question. With reference to the period of Gupta dynasty in ancient India, the towns Ghantashala, Kadura, and Chaul were well known as. Again, the correct answer was ports handling foreign trade. Now, guys, these are not the only 2 questions which UPSC had asked. If you go backwards, UPSC has asked multiple questions on this particular micro theme, and the micro theme is ancient trading ports. Guys, if you take example of the ports that UPSC has asked specifically, अब एक क्वेश्चन में कोरकाई, पुम्पुआर, मुचिरी पर क्वेश्चन पूछा है, एक ही क्वेश्चन में. What are these? Guys, these were ancient port cities and important trade centers located particularly in the present day state of Tamil Nadu. Guys, similarly, दूसरे क्वेश्चन में UPSC ने पूछा है a question, or it has given reference to Kadura, Ghantashala, and Chaul. What are these? During the period of Gupta dynasty, Kadura, Ghantashala, and Chaul were well known as important trading towns and ports. So again, the same micro theme being followed by UPSC, ancient trading ports. And guys, we are concerned with the prominent trading ports. If a port from ancient India is a trading port, it is more likely to be a prominent port. Fine, because the economy of the surrounding area is hinged on that port. Okay? The entire economy of the surrounding area, and in many cases, the economy of the kingdom hinged on those ports. Now, we have seen the examples asked by UPSC. 2 examples लिए हमने, बहुत ज़्यादा examples नहीं लिए. Just to make sense of the linkage, make sense of the micro theme. Now, guys, what is important? What is important from prelims 2024 point of view? 2024 के prelims में इस micro theme से क्या question पूछा जा सकता है? Retrospective linkage बनाना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन आने वाली एग्जाम के लिए क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है वो जानना और उस पर माइक्रो नोट्स बनाना based on these micro themes, that is what is valuable. ठीक है, that is what will increase our score in the real exam. Now, guys, let's take example of Korkai, क्योंकि कोरकाई already पूछ चुका है. Korkai was an ancient port city located in the Pandya kingdom. इतना ही आपको पता करना है. यूपीएससी इससे आगे नहीं जा रहा है. यहाँ पर पीएचडी करने की जरूरत नहीं है कोरकाई के ऊपर. Moving ahead, guys, Pumpuhar or Kaveri-Patnam. It was a prominent port city situated along the banks of river Kaveri. Pumpuhar is renowned for its role in the Sangam period of Tamil literature. Now, guys, here we have struck the linkage between Pumpuhar or Kaveri-Patnam with Sangam literature. अब हमको वो linkage पता है, examination में question आ जाए, we won't be caught off guard. आगे मुशिरी पर पूछा है, also known as Musiri. It was an ancient port town located on the banks of the river Vaigai in Tamil Nadu. It was known for its trade activities, particularly in spices and textiles. अगर यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ ले with respect to Mushiri or its relevance or its linkage to the Vaigai river and its mandate or its relevance to trade in spices and textiles, we won't be caught off guard in the examination hall. Similarly, guys, आगे बढ़ते हैं 2024 के लिए और जो इंपॉर्टेंट पोर्ट्स हैं. बरू गाजा, मैं आपसे आखिरी में पूछूंगा, आप लोगों में से कितनों ने इन पोर्ट्स के बारे में नोट्स बना रखे हैं या एटलीस्ट सुन रखा है? ठीक है. बरू गाजा, also known as Bharuch, located in Gujarat. It was an important port for maritime trade during ancient times, connecting India with the Roman Empire and other parts of the Western world. So Barugaza or Baroch and its linkage with Roman Empire and western parts of the world, part of the present day Gujarat, ये linkages हमको पता है, we won't be caught off guard. Tamralipta or Tamluk, situated in present day West Bengal. Tamralipta was a major port on the eastern coast of India. Guys, generally हम western ports पर ज्यादा तवज्जो देते हैं. Eastern ports we tend to neglect. So Tamralipta was a major port on the eastern coast of India. It was mentioned in the ancient Indian texts. Text की बात हो रही है. As a vital center for trade in Southeast Asia and China. Again, UPSC question पूछ ले with respect to its location, present day Bengal, its orientation and trade with Southeast Asia and China. We should not be caught off guard. Guys, आगे बढ़ने से पहले let me give you this reference. When we'll be discussing this as part of the module Dominate Prelims Core Booster module, जो भी लोग आप में से उसमें एनरोल करना चाहोगे, गाइस यहाँ पर हम नहीं रुकेंगे. We'll be having more discussion. Say for example यहाँ पर बरोच और बरुगाजा और ताम्रलिप्त और तामलुक, यहाँ पर I'll be discussing with you. जैसे यहाँ पर मुझे शिव दिख रहा है, मुझे अंबुज दिख रहा है, मुझे शुभम दिख रहा है. I'll be taking your inputs. Fine. So it will be a co-contributory exercise, and out of this मंथन होगा, synthesis of ideas होगा. will end up adding more important keywords, more pertinent information to these notes. So यहाँ पर guys, I am not claiming monopoly of knowledge. हो सकता है एनरोलमेंट के बाद आप क्लास में खुद मुझे आकर बोलो कि सर यहाँ पर ये पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट ऐड कर सकते हैं, एंड आई एम ऑलवेज ओपन टू इंप्रूवमेंट. आई विल टेक योर इनपुट्स और अल्टीमेटली उन नोट्स में वो एडिशनल पॉइंट्स भी आएंगे. फाइन, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. अरिकामेडू, इट्स सिचुएटेड नियर प्रेजेंट डे पौंडीचेरी in Tamil Nadu. It was an ancient port city that was active in maritime trade with the Roman Empire and other parts of the world. So guys, Arikamedu, उसका present day location अगर हमको map करना है, and its importance with respect to its economic importance with respect to trade with Roman Empire and trade with other parts of the world. Similarly, guys, Sopara located in present day Maharashtra. It was an ancient port city that played a significant role in maritime trade with the Roman Empire and other regions. अगर सोपारा पर क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाए, we must not be caught off guard. Then Nelkinda or Nelsinda, it was mentioned in ancient Greek and Roman texts. Now guys, this is very important. This particular port was not just mentioned in Indian texts, but it was also mentioned in ancient Greek and Roman texts as an important trading center on the western coast of India, likely located in the present day Kerala or Karnataka. Broad location हमको पता है. But again, this is important precisely because it has been mentioned in the ancient texts of those important empires, contemporary empires of ancient period. Then we come to Tindis or Tondi. Now this is mentioned in ancient Greek and Roman sources. Again, it was situated on the southwestern coast of India and was involved in trade with the Roman Empire and other regions. Again, Tindis or Tondi का bare minimum information, bare minimum working information हमने ले लिया. Then moving to Kakinada. Kakinada was located in the present day Andhra Pradesh. It was located, it was an ancient port city involved in maritime trade, particularly in goods such as textiles, spices and pearls. इससे ज्यादा पता करने की जरूरत नहीं है guys. Kakinada का relevance with respect to exports or trade of textiles, spices and pearls, its present day location, and accordingly the kingdom will be mapped. We will be able to map. क्लास में इसको थोड़ा और डिटेल में हम डिस्कस करेंगे with respect to the prevailing kingdom. यहाँ पर वेबिनार में we can't go too detailed. We have limited time. तो इस सेशन में जितना हम कवर कर सकते हैं उतना कंटेंट हमने यहाँ पर रखा है. Guys, moving ahead, I've taken 10 important quotes. मैंने वेबिनार के लिए 10 का ही चयन किया है to be more precise. Guys, Musulipatnam or Machilipatnam, which is situated in present day Andhra Pradesh, it was a significant port city on the eastern coast of India, involved in trade with Southeast Asia, China and Arabia. So again, Machilipatnam or Machilipatnam, linkage with Andhra Pradesh, trade with China, Arabia. अगर ये एग्जाम में आ जाए कि अरेबिया के साथ हमारा ट्रेड होता था, with from Masulipatam, we are likely to get confused अगर हमने पहले से ये माइक्रो थीमिंग करके पढ़ नहीं रखा है. Then चंद्रगिरी, guys, कितने लोगों ने चंद्रगिरी के बारे में सुन रखा है या नोट बना रखा है? Chandragiri was situated in present day Andhra Pradesh. It was an ancient port city mentioned in historical records for its involvement in maritime trade with Southeast Asia. Historical record में ये mentioned है, इसका geographical location हमने note कर लिया. Then the 10th and last one, Quilon or Kollam, located in Kerala. It was an ancient port city that played a significant role in maritime trade with the Middle East and Europe, particularly in the spice trade. So Kollam port का reference or relevance with respect to spice trade and its present day geographical location and the contemporary trade that it had with Middle East region and Europe. Middle East countries तो नहीं बोल सकते, तब countries नहीं होते थे, regions होते थे, kingdoms होते थे. Fine, Middle East and Europe. So guys, let's come back to the original questions asked by UPSC and the original theme that we just discussed. Then I'll allow you to unmute. Guys, please raise your hand जो लोग अपना input यहाँ पर देना चाहते हैं. I'll allow you to speak. कौन सा माइक्रो थीम हमने अभी डिस्कस किया है? Prominent ancient trading ports. We saw these questions 2023 में UPSC ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कोरकाई, पुम्पुहार and मुशिरी के ऊपर, which were nothing but ancient ports. Also ancient ports from South India. Also 3 साल पहले 2020 में UPSC had asked a question with respect to Gupta dynasty in ancient India. The towns of Ghantashala, Kadura and Chaul were again, these were well known as ports handling foreign trade. The same micro theme, ancient trading ports or prominent ancient trading ports. Then we quickly had a look on Korkai, Pumpuar, Mushiri, which were nothing but important trading centers. Then a quick look on Kadura, Ghantashala and Chaul, again which were important trading towns, and obviously they were port towns. Then we had a quick look on the other ports UPSC had asked. Then we went ahead and we saw a list. Guys, this list is not exhaustive. We have taken up 10 ancient ports. In the class, we'll be discussing more and we'll be keeping it more crisp. थोड़ी information इसमें और add हो सकती है during the course of discussion. So, starting from Baroch, Tamluk, Arikamedu, Sopara, Nelkinda, Tindis, Kakinada, Masulipatam, Chandragiri, and Quilon or Kollam. We saw their present geographical location, their trade with the respective regions of the world, and other important traits as shown by those important trading ports from ancient India from different geographical locations. Now, guys, my question to you is this. Again, coming back to the first point that you made at the start of this session, are we preparing ourselves? Are we braced up to face UPSC's randomness, or are we just following micro themes and completely ignoring the micro themes which UPSC has been following for asking questions? Guys, please raise your hand. I'll allow you to unmute. Now, Shubham, Ambuj, you can unmute. Ambuj can unmute. Shubham can unmute. Supriya. Jyotsana is raising hand. Jyotsana and Rahul. Jyotsana, tell me, like, I'm sure you must have prepared ancient India. Guys, one after the other. Jyotsana, speak. Jyotsana, speak first. Jyotsana, I'm sure you must have gone through standard books for ancient Indian history. आपने NCERT पढ़े होंगे, probably आपने और दूसरे reference books पढ़े होंगे, और probably आप किसी coaching institutes के notes follow किए होंगे. But my question to you is, were you able to go that micro in accordance with the demands of UPSC? जिस तरीके से UPSC question पूछ रही है back to back. Yes, Jyotsana.
Sir, I was able to answer the questions for ancient ports in the previous attempts, but okay, I haven't prepared exhaustive. Like, I would like to know about the sources for these topics.
Okay, very good.
Sir, so what? One more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
In the presentation for Muchiri, that is Musiris, it was given as Muchiri, also known as Musiri, was an ancient port town located on the banks of the river Vaigai in Tamil Nadu.
ठीक है.
I come from Kerala. So as per my knowledge, Mussoorie is a port in the Malabar coast of Kerala. Actually, currently we have a port in Kochi, the Cochin Shipyard Limited. Before the port was located in Mussoorie, and there was a flood, I think in 16th or 15th century, and due to the flood, the port was shifted from Mussoorie to Kochi.
First
so
answering your second.
Confirm on that.
First answering your second question, you said that it is not Tamil Nadu, it's Kerala. So you are saying there is a factual error over there. Fine. Okay, we'll
yes.
check. We'll check that.
Yes.
Yes, Jyotsana, let me answer your question first. Then I'll come back to you again. That's your second question. Okay. Factual question को हम recheck करेंगे. First question.
Because even in Nitin Singhania, the art and culture book, all these sports are not given.
Okay. So guys, Jyotsana का first question ये है कि she was able to answer the question in the exam. ये जो question पूछा गया था, this one on ancient Indian ports 2023 में कोरकाई पुंपर मछुरी वाला, she was able to answer. लेकिन what Jyotsana is saying, she was not able to prepare. And she gave examples and of books like Nitin Singhania. नितिन सिंघानिया का तुमने एग्जांपल दिया, और कौन सा एग्जांपल दिया ज्योत्सना?
नितिन सिंघानिया से पढ़ा था.
Okay, so she read that entire book, Nitin Singhania, and Jyotsana is saying that she could not find all this information even in that book. So what is the source? What is the source? So Jyotsana, this is a very important and valid question that you have raised. The information and the body of knowledge that we are discussing, this is not part of any single book, any single reference source. All this is very scattered. ठीक है?
Yes.
We can't expect to cover one book, be it Nitin Singhania or be it any other book for art and culture or ancient history, medieval history or current affairs for that matter. ठीक है? Because just because we are following that source doesn't mean UPSC is also following that source. Fine. So all this information is scattered. But what helps us compile all this information under one roof, under one head, is the micro theme, identification of the micro theme, which in this case is prominent ancient trading ports. Now, if we are clear in a mind that UPSC is very much likely to repeat this theme and ask a question on an ancient trading port, or it is likely to give 3 or 4 ancient trading ports and ask us the context as to which dynasty they belong to, or what are those, or what is their geography, what was their geographical location. ठीक है? Then accordingly we'll be preparing our notes. So that's the idea. You won't find all this information under one roof. So precisely for that reason, we are making these micro notes under these micro themes, where all the pertinent or the relevant information that UPSC is likely to ask based on these micro themes, we are trying to compile those and in this single micro note. Does it make sense to you so far, Jyotsana?
Sir, for ports like Tindis or 20, I'm hearing for the first time.
Okay, Tindis you have heard for the first time.
Yes.
So isn't that interesting, Jyotsana? Now you said you have followed Nitin Singhania and you have completed your syllabus. Am I correct on saying this? You have completed your syllabus, and Tindis port you have heard for the first time. So that's not part of your notes.
Yes.
UPSC क्वेश्चन वहीं से पूछता है ज्योत्सना, जो हमारे नोट्स में नहीं होता है. यूपीएससी वहीं से खोज कर क्वेश्चन बनाती है, especially when it comes to art and culture, ancient history and medieval history especially, and also this is equally applicable to the other areas. If you see the trends in prelims 2022 and 2023, even from current affairs, even from polity domain, UPSC वहां से क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है, उन माइक्रो थीम से क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है जो जनरली हम नहीं पढ़ते. लक्ष्मीकांत हम पढ़कर चले जाते हैं, बट द माइक्रो थीम दैट यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड, वेटेज ऑफ वोट्स ऑफ एमएलए, पढ़कर नहीं जाते हम लोग. राइट? ओके गाइस, दोज अदर्स हु आर ऑन अनम्यूट, क्विकली गाइस. राहुल, शिव, अच्छा तुम्हारा और एक क्वेश्चन है ज्योत्सना, क्या पूछ रही हो?
Can you please give a clue on from, like, how did you identify that important?
Background. ठीक है Jyotsana, clue, you need clue on what?
How did you find that this 10 days or 20 is important? Like, what is the source? Like, how could you find this one?
Okay, just Jyotsana is asking, how did I find this reference to 10 days and other reports? Yes. The straight answer, the simple answer is by doing back-breaking research, by taking a lot of headache, by separating wheat from chaff. Because when you research based on any micro theme, say for example, here we are discussing this micro theme on trading ports. Earlier we discussed this micro themes in Sangam.
Hello.
Yes, guys, I'll come to you. Let me first answer Jyotsana. So, any micro theme that we would be discussing, you will get a lot of information, and not everything would be relevant. Not everything would be important. So the first thing is, So the first thing is you collect the relevant information under the given micro theme, then you collate it. The next step is you filter it out in accordance to the demands of the examination. Now, how do you get to know the demand of the exam? You go through the previous year question papers. Okay? And then what remains with you is the condensed format of your research. Fine? At the end, Jyotsana, I'll be answering your question again. पहले जो तीसरा वाला micro theme बचा हुआ है, उसको discuss कर लेते हैं. Then I'll be answering this question in more detail. Before that, a student was trying to speak. Who was that? Quickly, guys. Was it Shiv? Shiv, क्या बोल रहे थे? Unmute yourself, Shiv.
Okay, sir, am I audible?
Yes, Shiv. बोलो.
Okay, सर, तो जैसे कि क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं पोर्ट्स पे लगातार, तो ऑप्शन में अगर कहीं हमें पोर्ट्स दिखे तो हम उसको डायरेक्टली मार्क कर दें, क्योंकि लगातार पोर्ट्स पे क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं.
ये गलती मत करना शिव, ये गलती मत करना. Please don't oversimplify. Like we can't afford to oversimplify the trends and patterns of the civil services prelims examination. Ports पर अगर आपको 2 बार सही आंसर मिल गया, तीसरी बार भी ports ही होगा. That's not the right way of looking at it. The right way of looking at it would be identifying the micro themes. कौन सी थीम पर क्वेश्चन आ रहा है और उस थीम के अनुसार हम पढ़ें और हम हमारे नोट्स बनाएं. ठीक है. अब उसके बाद क्या क्वेश्चन आता है, किस तरीके से आता है, वो तो एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में ही पता चलेगा. अभी से हम डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते कि कोर्ट होगा तो हम कोर्ट को सही मार्क कर देंगे. ठीक है. और सिंप्लीफाई नहीं करेंगे. Now guys, fine, quickly let's move to the last theme that is set to be discussed today in this webinar. Guys, the last theme is micro theme number 3, contributions of British archaeologists. Contributions of British archaeologists. Now this is a very interesting theme that we are going to have a look at very briefly. उसके पहले क्वेश्चन देखते हैं गाइस जो यूपीएससी ने पूछे हैं हाल ही में. यहां पर हॉरिजॉन्टल पीवाईक्यू एंकरिंग करेंगे, मतलब सिविल सर्विसेज प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन के अलावा यूपीएससी जो दूसरे पेपर्स फ्रेम करती है उनका भी हम रेफरेंस लेंगे. अब 2023 में यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था, हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग वाज द फर्स्ट टू डिसाइफर द अशोकन इंस्क्रिप्शंस, and the options were William Jones, John Marshall, James Prinsep, Alexander Cunningham. Again, in Civil Services Prelims 2023 exam, UPSC has given reference to all these British archaeologists with reference to the Indian history. Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess, and Walter Elliot were associated with. अब यहाँ पर correct answer important नहीं है. The correct answer was archaeological excavations. Guys, what is important is the micro theme that UPSC is following. The micro theme that UPSC is following is contributions of British archaeologists. This is something that we neglect. We generally don't read or prepare this way. We don't give importance to British archaeologists and their contributions. Now, because UPSC has asked multiple questions on this particular micro theme, it is not just in 2023 that UPSC asked this question. If you take previous examples from UPSC prelims questions, बतेरे क्वेश्चन पूछ रखे हैं, multiple questions UPSC ने पूछ रखे हैं with respect to contributions of British archaeologists. Now guys, now we have this clarity of thought कि UPSC is asking questions on this micro theme on contributions of British archaeologists. let's try to get more clarity on important British archaeologists and their field of work. क्या योगदान था उनका? So that when this question is asked in the exam, we are not caught off guard. Say for example, Alexander Ree. Guys, here Alexander Ree was a British archaeologist who made significant contributions to Indian archaeology, particularly in the study and preservation of monuments. Ree served as the superintendent of the Archaeological Survey of Western India. His notable works include the excavation and restoration of several historical sites, such as the Elephanta Caves and the Kanheri Caves in Maharashtra. So, linkage or field of work of Alexander Ree, his linkage with Elephanta Caves and Kanheri Caves, his other contributions, his role with respect to his superintendence of archaeological survey. We must not be caught off guard अगर UPSC इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन पूछ लेती है. Then moving ahead, A.H. Longhurst. Guys, A.H. Longhurst. He was a British archaeologist known for his work in documenting and preserving Indian art and architecture. He served as the curator of the Indian Museum in Kolkata. Longhurst's contribution includes studies on Indian sculpture, especially his comprehensive work on Gandhara art. Now, A.H. Longhurst and his linkage with Gandhara art, works on Indian sculpture and other important work that A.H. Longhurst had done. अगर इस पर क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाए A.H. Longhurst और कॉन्वर्सली गंधरा आर्ट पर क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाए, इंडियन स्कल्पचर पर क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाए, which pertains or which relates to field of work of A.H. Longhurst, we must not be caught off guard. Similarly, guys, Robert Sewell, he was a British civil servant and historian who contributed to Indian archaeology through his research and publications. He is particularly known for his work of foreign empire Vijayanagar. Now guys, this is very important. UPSC इन्हीं points के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है. A foreign empire Vijayanagar, a work by Robert Sewell, which sheds light on the history and archaeology of the Vijayanagar Empire in South India. Then James Burgess, he was a Scottish antiquarian and archaeologist who played a crucial role in the exploration and preservation of ancient Indian monuments. He served as the director of the Archaeological Survey of India. Burgess conducted extensive surveys and excavations across India, documenting numerous sites and artifacts. Again, basic information with respect to James Burgess हमने ले रखा है. थोड़ा जल्दी आगे बढ़ते हैं guys. Walter Elliot, again he was a British colonial administrator and archaeologist who made notable contributions to Indian archaeology during his tenure as the Chief Commissioner of the British Central Provinces. Elliot conducted excavations at various sites, including the ancient city of Amravati in present-day Andhra Pradesh. His efforts led to the discovery and documentation of significant artifacts and monuments, enriching our understanding of ancient Indian history and culture. So, Walter Elliot ka reference with respect to the ancient city of Amravati and his other field of work. ठीक है, इस पर क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाए, then we must not be caught off guard. Then next, sixth prominent British archaeologist, John Marshall. He was a British archaeologist who served as the Director General of ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, from 1902 to 1928. Marshall's most notable contribution was his leadership in the excavation and subsequent discovery of the Indus Valley Civilization, IVC. Guys, under his direction, ASI excavated several key sites of the civilization, including Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, uncovering a vast urban civilization that predated most known ancient civilization. Marshall's work, particularly his reports on the excavations on the Indus Valley sites, provided crucial insights into the urban planning, culture and trade networks of the IVC. Guys, अगर direct question आ जाए या फिर indirect question भी आ जाए, we should not be caught off guard. John Marshall's his relevance or his work on Indus Valley civilization, reference to Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, reference to urban planning, culture and trade networks. Moving ahead, William Jones, he was a British scholar and polymath who made significant contributions to Indian archaeology, linguistics and legal studies during the British colonial period. Jones played a key role in the founding of the Asiatic Society of Bengal in 1784, which became a hub for the study of Indian history, culture, and languages. The society facilitated research and scholarly exchange, laying the groundwork for the study of Indian archaeology. Jones is renowned for his translation of the ancient Sanskrit texts into English, which helped to bridge the gap between Indian and Western scholarship. Guys, this is very important. His translations of texts such as the Manusmriti and the works of Kalidasa contributed to the understanding of ancient Indian culture and literature in the West. Now, field of work of William Jones, his relevance or his linkage with Manusmriti, works of Kalidasa, his relevance or linkage to the Asiatic Society of Bengal and other pertinent information. इस पर अगर क्वेश्चन आता है, we should not be caught off guard. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि डायरेक्टली विलियम जोन्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ जाए, बट a direct question can be asked with respect to the field of work of William Jones. So we should have this information at the back of our minds to be more comfortable in the examination hall. Moving ahead, guys, James Prinsep. James Prinsep was a British scholar and antiquarian who made significant contribution to the decipherment of the ancient Indian scripts and the study of Indian archaeology. Prinsep is best known for his decipherment of Brahmi script. Guys, very, very important. As ancient script used in India, it helped unlock the story of Emperor Ashoka. Again, very important. इस पर direct question UPSC ने पूछ भी रखा है. His work is in deciphering inscriptions found on pillars, coins, and other artifacts, provided a key to understanding ancient Indian history and chronology. Prinsep's publications, including his translations of inscriptions and his scholarly articles, laid the foundation for the study of epigraphy in India. His meticulous analysis of inscriptions contributed greatly to the understanding of ancient Indian languages and civilization. Guys, important field of work of James Prinsep, his relevance or his linkage with Brahmi script, with that of Emperor Ashoka, with that of other works regarding ancient Indian languages and civilization and so on. इस पर अगर क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली यूपीएससी पूछ ले, should not be caught off guard. Then guys, Alexander Cunningham. He was a British Army engineer and archaeologist who played a pioneering role in the exploration and preservation of Indian archaeological sites. Cunningham is often referred to as the father of Indian archaeology for his establishment of the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, in 1861. He conducted numerous excavations and surveys across the Indian subcontinent, uncovering ancient sites such as Sarnath, Sanchi, Takshila. Very, very important, guys. His meticulous documentation of these sites provided valuable insights into the history and culture of ancient India. So Alexander Cunningham's works, his linkage with his works on Sarnath, Sanchi, Takshila, and his establishment of Archaeological Survey of India and other important works. इस पर क्वेश्चन आ जाए directly and indirectly, we should not be caught off guard. Now, guys, let me have a quick word with you guys. I'll unmute you and try to understand that. For sure, I know you all have covered your syllabus to great extent and you are in your revision phase. I want to know, to what extent were you able to have clarity on these micro themes, and how far are these micro themes, the works of these British archaeologists, already ingrained in your notes? Guys, please raise your hand. I'll take your inputs. Shubham, Shiv, Ambuj. Let me come to new folks as well. Anjali, you can unmute. And other folk. Yes, Anjali. Tell me. Tell me your perspective.
I've heard a few of these people. Like one was Walter Elliot, because of the Amaravati Buddhist stupa, which was completely demolished, and he took all the marbles from the stupa to a place in Chennai, and later it came to be known as Elliot marbles. So then
fine. What else?
So similarly, James Prinsep was also there in one of the textbooks. But I have not heard about Alexander Ray, H. Longhurst, and Robert Sewell. And Alexander Cunningham was also. So I think Alexander Cunningham, it was one of the questions in about he is the founder of Archaeological Survey of India. So that was one of the questions in an examination.
Yeah. Multiple questions have been asked from this information that we have discussed in the last 5 minutes. So okay, you had information about you. Tell me, could you add some value out of these slides that we have just discussed? क्या value add कर पाए तुम?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to add some value to your notes?
Yes, sir, definitely. Because I've always found ancient history questions to be a bit difficult and confusing, especially because of the kind of words that they use and the kind of references that they make. So it has always been confusing, but this actually gives me a better idea.
To be more specific, like we have discussed multiple scholars, multiple archaeologists, Alexander Reed, A.H. Longhurst, which was not part of your notes, even after, like, I'm assuming you have done quite rigorous analysis of PYQs. You have completed your syllabus. Am I right on this count?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And you have been making your notes for ancient history and art and culture. Okay, that's my assumption.
Yes, sir.
Right? Again, I am right on the point. Okay. So still, what was new that you could add? Alexander Reed, Elephanta Caves, A.H. Longhurst, Gandhara art, Indian sculpture. He could add something from here, or Robert Sewell, James Burgess. कुछ यहाँ से नया मिल पाया?
Yes, sir. There were a lot of new information from the slides, sir.
Lot of
which I have not read. Yes.
Say, for example, Robert Sewell and his work on A Forgotten Empire, Vijayanagar, or for that matter, A.H. Longhurst's work on Gandhara art.
Yes, sir. I have not heard of them.
This was not part of the notes that you had already prepared, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. Any other guys, please raise your hand who want to give your inputs. I'll allow you to unmute. Quickly, guys. Ambuj, you are unmuted. कुछ input है तुम्हारा?
Yes. Sir, slide, sir, is very relevant because, sir, you are connecting the relevant topics. For example, Vijayanagar is very important to UPSC. So caves are important to UPSC. So you are connecting these topics. And sir, there is atmosphere of probabilistic theory in art and culture, ancient medieval. Either hit or miss type means atmosphere is there. People are telling.
यही तो नहीं करना है. Hit and miss mentality ही को तो avoid करना है. Because we can't bet our chances of clearing prelims exam on some chance event. Hit and try अगर hit and miss करेंगे. अगर आ गया एग्जाम में पता है तो मार्क कर देंगे, नहीं पता है तो छोड़ देंगे. That's a very risky thing to do, right?
Yes. So these slides are very relevant, sir.
Okay, you found them relevant. You could add some added information, added keywords, added information to your notes. That's what you're saying, Ambuj.
Yes, sir. Also, the solution, many coaching institute, they have given prelims 2023. So they are not connecting like this. Just for example, all those cricket archaeologists, just they are giving the name of their association with some government bodies like that only, but they are not digging deep.
They are not digging deep. So in other words, tell me if I'm getting you wrong, Ambuj. You are saying that you have followed some notes or some websites of some coaching institutions, and what you have found is that they have made reference to these PYQs asked by UPSC, but on a very superficial level. They are only giving superficial information with respect to these archaeologists. They are not going deep as to what work they were involved in, what groundbreaking work they did, what important publications they had published, and what important breakthrough movements we had with respect to ancient history or archaeology in general. This is what you're. Am I getting you right, Ambuj?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Fine. Okay. So, guys, this is the same thing. Again, coming to the first slide that we had in the very beginning. Again, UPSC's randomness. How are we trying to make genuine efforts, and how are we putting in academic rigor to reduce UPSC's randomness and increase to some extent the predictiveness. जब randomness कम होगा तभी तो predictiveness थोड़ा सा बढ़ेगा, ठीक है? और ये हम कैसे कर रहे हैं? By putting in a lot of academic rigor, by putting in sincere efforts, by following micro themes, and by making our notes precisely in accordance to those micro themes. अदरवाइज गाइज मैक्रो थीम्स फॉलो करने का जमाना गया. मैंने आप लोगों से सवाल पूछे हैं और आप सब लोगों ने एक ही बात बताई है. बीट द माइक्रो थीम ऑन संगम literature that we saw, beat the micro theme on British archaeologists that we saw, or beat the micro theme on prominent ancient trading ports that we saw. मैक्रो थीम अगर हम फॉलो करेंगे, बुक्स पढ़ेंगे, वहां से एंशियंट हिस्ट्री पढ़ लेंगे, गुप्ता पीरियड पढ़ लेंगे, संगम एज पढ़ लेंगे, आर्ट एंड कल्चर पढ़ लेंगे, लेकिन वहां से हमको सुपरफिशियल ज्ञान ही मिल रहा है, विच इज नॉट एट ऑल बीइंग हेल्पफुल इन द रियल एग्जामिनेशन हॉल. आप लोगों में से जिन लोगों ने प्रीलिम्स 22 और 23 दे रखा है, और अगर नहीं भी दे रखा है, आपने एनालाइज कर रखा है, आई डोंट नीड टू से यू हाउ यूजलेस दोज माइक्रो थीम्स आर प्रूविंग टू बी इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल. सो one thing is certain, that we need to go beyond the obvious. जाना है, beyond the superficial effort हमको जाना है. We have to go micro, and that's exactly what we have tried to understand through this discussion on importance of micro themes. And guys, based on this same analysis of how micro themes help us, how they can help us increase our score in the examination hall, how these micro themes can help us be better prepared for the prelims examination, not just with respect to history, but also with respect to the other subjects, be it polity, geography, even current affairs. Guys, I have come up with this course, Dominate Prelims Score Booster, in which we will be covering more than 100 micro themes. अब यहाँ पर घबराना नहीं है 100 ये नंबर देख के. The number is relevant क्योंकि 100 से ज्यादा माइक्रो थीम्स रिलेवेंट है एग्जामिनेशन के लिए. जरूरी नहीं कि सारे के सारे 100 माइक्रो थीम्स यूपीएससी पूछ लेगी, बट इनमें से कई सारे पूछेगी, दैट इज फॉर श्योर. एंड विल बी कवरिंग देम वेरी ससिंक्टली, वेरी प्रिसाइसली. Also comparing and contrasting these notes with the other notes available out there in the market. Guys, species के लिए 50 पेजेस हम पढ़ रहे हैं, स्कीम गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स के लिए 100 पेजेस पढ़ रहे हैं, 50 पेजेस पढ़ रहे हैं, totally not worth our time and effort. Here we'll be doing it in a very precise and concise manner. Our ultimate goal is, guys, to the bare minimum, we should be able to attempt at least 7 to 8 more questions that are tough, which otherwise we are likely to skip or we are likely to mark wrong. That is the minimum expectation out of this academic rigor that we are putting in. ठीक है? What you will be getting as part of the classes, you will be getting recorded classes plus live Zoom sessions with me. जैसे हम अभी live Zoom session पर connected है, where we will be solving prelims question and we'll be developing paper solving approach in those live sessions. So recorded classes where you'll be getting access to 10 classes, which will be 3 hours each, where I have discussed logical paper solving approach. How do you solve questions where you might not have complete idea about the question? Still, how do you take risk in those questions and attempt more questions and have better strike rate? You attempt those questions with better precision in the examination hall. Other workshop to which you'll be getting access is the Predict Prelims workshop, जहां पर आपको micro notes मिलेंगे based on these 100 plus micro themes, where we'll be emphasizing on the keywords, information, knowledge, body of knowledge, which is more relevant and likely to be asked in Prelims 2024. That is your Predict Prelims workshop. Again, 10 classes, roughly 3 hours each, plus live Zoom sessions. The course fee is 2950. Guys, this is a slashed down version of Dominate Prelims. I'm also sharing the joining link in the chat box. Guys, you can access the joining link from the chat box. I'd request my team to add the joining link in the chat box. I'd request Nisha or other members to add the joining link. Ankur has already added the link. Again, I have also posted the link in the chat box. Guys, you can use the link that I've just pasted in the chat box for enrolling in the Dominant Prelims Score Booster module. And guys, now very quickly, I'll be taking your question and answers. Let's keep it very brief. If you want to speak, I'll allow you to unmute. You'll have to keep your cameras on. Raise your hand. I'll allow you to unmute. Also, I'll take your questions that you have asked in the chat box. Guys, I would encourage you to ask the questions now, because पहले जो आपने questions पूछ रखे हैं, it would be a bit difficult to answer those questions. Ask your questions afresh in the chat box. I'll answer those, and raise your hands. I'll allow you to unmute. अच्छा, हिंदी में बात करने के लिए बोल रहे हो शिवम, हिंदी में भी हम बात कर सकते हैं. इनफैक्ट गाइस, क्लासेस बाइलिंगुअल होती हैं. क्लासेस हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों के जुडिशियस कॉम्बिनेशन से कंडक्ट की जाती है, और आप अपने डाउट्स हिंदी में भी क्लियर कर सकते हो. Okay, Priyanka sir, talk in English. Yes, so we have this judicious combo of English and Hindi. Are this available later in Score Booster course? Yes, once you enroll, you will be able to access these sessions as part of your Dominant Prelims Score Booster. Lot of buffering, ठीक है. Record कर सकते हैं क्या? Yes, you will be getting access to recorded sessions. Shaheen, इसका पीडीएफ मिलेगा. यस, ये वाला जो पीडीएफ हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, इसका पीडीएफ आपको मिल जाएगा. कैन एनीवन टाइप? आपको मेल कर दिया जाएगा गाइस. इफ यू हैव रजिस्टर्ड फॉर द वेबिनार, आपको ये पीडीएफ मेल कर दिया जाएगा. कैन एनीवन शेयर प्रीवियसली स्टेटेड सब थीम्स? ये पीडीएफ आपके साथ शेयर हो जाएगा. आदित्य, Zeeshan sir, what is the ideal time to join your Conquer Prelims course for 2025 after completing GS Foundation now? Bhavya, please share your number in the chat box. You can DM me. My team will reach out to you. Very quickly, Jyotsana, you are raising hand. You can unmute.
So can you please give an idea of like how many hours there will be? I want to know more details about the prelims or booster classes.
Roughly 60 hours. 30 hours logic booster. 30 hours logic booster workshop, 30 hours predict prelims workshop, roughly 60 hours plus live Zoom sessions. We'll be conducting at least 3 live Zoom sessions where we'll be discussing paper solving approach. Fine?
Like, can you give an idea about how long will it extend, like till May last or like June beginning?
No, we won't stretch it to the very fag end. Your exam is on 16th of June. So yes, our emphasis will be to cover everything at least 15 days prior to the exam, so that you have enough time for revision. Okay?
And can you please also give an idea on the frequency of classes, like number of hours per week?
So the classes are recorded, Jyotsana.
Okay.
You can complete those classes on your own speed. In fact, you can complete those classes at a higher speed. Say, for example, 1.5x speed पर आप देख सकते हो to complete those classes quickly. मतलब अगर मैं 60 hours अभी बोल रहा हूँ, if you are comfortable at watching it at 2x speed, you can finish it at half the time. 1.5x speed, again, still you are covering it earlier than the regular speed. That's up to you. That's up to your comfort. आप comfortable किस speed पर हो. Fine. उसके अलावा लाइव सेशंस के आपको लिंक्स, ज्वाइनिंग लिंक्स आपके टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में दे दिए जाएंगे. वंस यू एनरोल, यू विल बी एडेड टू द ऑफिशियल टेलीग्राम ग्रुप. यहाँ पर आपको ज्वाइनिंग लिंक्स मिलेंगे वेयर यू कैन ज्वाइन माय Zoom sessions. We will be discussing these.
And when will it start, sir? Can you please give an idea on when will it start?
When will what start? When will the classes start?
The classes, yes. The live session.
The moment you enroll, it will start, because the sessions are recorded, right? If you enroll today,
I'm talking about the live sessions.
Live sessions will be conducted on a weekly basis. Like Sundays would be preferred, either Saturday or Sunday. Exact date will be shared in the group, but here I can confirm weekly basis पर conduct किया जाएगा, and at least 3 sessions will be conducted live.
Can you give an idea of when will it start from? Within a week or within 2 weeks?
Within a week. Like today is Wednesday. Wednesday. So either we can start this Sunday. Now we'll start with this Sunday only. Okay. We'll not wait for next Sunday. This Sunday we'll be conducting our first live session. Fine. But till that you'll also have this added benefit. Till that you'll be covering many classes, and you'll have that context in mind. Say, for example, when we'll be discussing paper solving approach, you should be having that clarity with respect to what we have already discussed in the class as to how do we use logical paper solving approaches. Tabhi wo live session mein you'll be able to make sense of it. That would be more productive for you, right? So this Sunday we'll be having our first live session. Okay, guys, others who have doubts, please raise your hand. I'll allow you to unmute. Srishti, can you switch on your camera? Yes, Srishti, क्या doubt है तुम्हारा?
Good evening, sir. Sir, ये out of the 60 hours जो आपने बताया है, तो सिर्फ 3 या 4 classes live होंगी, बाकी सब recorded हैं.
Yes, you'll have minimum 3 sessions for paper solving approach. We'll be doing live paper solving in those sessions. And in the other classes, as I have said, you'll be getting access to 2 workshops. In first workshop is on logical paper solving approaches, where you will be acquainted to take calculated risks and mark answers with greater precision. The other one is more related to the notes that we have just discussed. These micro themes, right? Predict Prelims workshop. Yes, you'll be getting access to the classes where these micro themes are discussed. Okay?
Also, sir, on a side note, last year I was not able to study much because of a family emergency. 3-4 महीने मेरे नहीं हो पाए थे prelims से पहले पढ़ाई. But because of your PYQ analysis and the tigdums from your thing, I was able to score 90, which was mind blowing for me personally. So genuinely, thank you. I just needed an opportunity to thank you for that. So thank you for that.
That's great. That's great to hear, Srishti. So last year, could you clear prelims or not?
CSAT रह गया था, sir.
CSAT रह गया था. Fine, understood. So, Srishti, it's good to know. It's good to know. Last year you had followed these approaches and you could score comfortable marks in prelims paper one. अब CSAT रह गया, now that's a different thing. इस साल लेकिन CSAT पर काम करना है. Fine.
बहुत क्या है already अब, God willing.
Yes. Apart from that, जो आपने पिछले साल पढ़ा था, these micro themes analysis, this is something more academic in nature. Yes, I am sure you are able to spot the difference. हम और ज्यादा academic rigor उसमें डालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Good to hear that, Srishti. Fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome, Srishti. Other inputs, guys, please raise your hand. I'm also taking questions from the chat box, or you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Okay, Jyotsana, reliable source के बारे में हमने discuss कर चुके हैं. Okay, my team has added the joining link for the program where these micro themes will be discussed in good detail. Talk in English. What to Kurutal? Fine. Yes, these sessions will be recorded. Recorded sessions का access आपको मिलेगा. Hindi and English bilingual होंगे classes, guys. हाँ, ये PDF भी मिल जाएगा. Consider English, ठीक है. Nikhil is asking, sir, Chandragiri, is it a port city? Now, guys, now this is a very interesting thing. If after putting in a lot of efforts, following many standard books and doing a lot of revision, if we don't know whether Chandragiri is an important port city or not, then that is a check that we need to put on ourselves. ठीक है कि कहीं हम कम तो नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है, आर वी प्रिपेयरिंग इन अकॉर्डेंस टू डिमांड्स ऑफ द पेपर सेट. दैट्स अ रियलिटी चेक. ठीक है. देन निखिल prepare those, how to prepare those micro notes. Okay, Priyanka is asking how to prepare those micro notes. Priyanka, and इससे पहले one more student, I think it was Jyotsana. Priyanka, Jyotsana and others. Guys, this is a very important and valid question. And this is what I'm saying. Guys, you don't need to join any program, any module. Score booster module जो मेरा वाला है, वो भी आपको ज्वाइन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. दूसरा भी कोई ज्वाइन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. दूसरा तो चलो कोई माइक्रो-थीमेटिक एनालिसिस वैसे भी कोई कर नहीं रहा है आउट देयर. तब आपको जरूरत नहीं है ज्वाइन करने की. इफ यू आर एबल टू डू दिस डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू मेक दिस लेवल ऑफ डिटेल्ड नोट्स आउट ऑफ द माइक्रो-थीमेटिक एनालिसिस दैट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. अगर कर पा रहे हो गाइज, डोंट ज्वाइन एनीथिंग. ठीक है, डू इट ऑन योरसेल्फ, कर लो खुद. बट गाइज, इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू माइक्रो-थीमेटिक एनालिसिस टू द एक्सटेंट दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, जितना एकेडमिक रिगर हमने डिस्कस किया है उसके साथ अगर आप नहीं कर पा रहे हो, देन गाइज प्लीज डोंट टेक योर प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम लाइटली, सीक हेल्प, ठीक है? दिस इज द ओनली पॉइंट आई विल बी मेकिंग। देन माइक्रो थीम्स लिस्ट मिलेगा, ये वाला पीडीएफ आपको मिल जाएगा। जयशु टेस्ट, Aditya is asking, is this covering test series? No, Aditya, you can join another module for test series. This module is a minimalistic one. यहाँ पर आपको टेस्ट नहीं मिलेगा, आपको सिर्फ माइक्रो थीमेटिक एनालिसिस के क्लासेस का एक्सेस मिलेगा और लॉजिक बूस्टर क्लासेस का एक्सेस मिलेगा, अपार्ट फ्रॉम द लाइव जूम सेशंस फॉर पेपर सॉल्विंग अप्रोच। सृष्टि, यू आर सेइंग यू हैव सम डाउट फॉर कोर्स। आई थिंक सृष्टि ने ऑलरेडी कवर कर लिया अपना डाउट। will persons who have access to dominate prelims के पहले के बैचेस से आप इसको कंफ्यूज मत करो, दिस इज अ डिस्टिंक्ट बैच ऑल टुगेदर। फरदीन इज आस्किंग, सर अभी न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ूं क्या? फरदीन, ऑल्दो इट वुड बी अ सुपरफिशियल आंसर अगर मैं आपको बोल दूं न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो या मत पढ़ो, क्योंकि मैं नहीं जानता वेयर डू यू स्टैंड टुडे, बट ब्लाइंडली न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने का वक्त अभी चला गया फरदीन। माइक्रो थीमेटिक एनालिसिस करो, क्योंकि सिमिलर टू द एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री एंड आर्ट एंड कल्चर माइक्रो थीम्स दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, करंट अफेयर्स के भी माइक्रो थीम्स पर ही क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं। आप कितना भी रिगरस करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ लो, करंट अफेयर्स मैगजीन फॉलो कर लो, न्यूज़पेपर्स पढ़ लो, चार न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ लो, यूपीएससी कुछ अलग पूछ रही है। से फॉर एग्जांपल हनीबीज पर क्वेश्चन पूछा था वैगल डांस के ऊपर, सेम ईयर 2023 में, लास्ट ईयर यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था जियो साइंटिस्ट के एग्जाम में कि विच इज द ओनली क्रिएचर वी कैन आइडेंटिफाई ऑड एंड इवन नंबर्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम ह्यूमंस, उसका भी आंसर हनी बीज था। वहां पर माइक्रो थीम्स क्या था गाइज? माइक्रो थीम्स वाज यूनिक ट्रेट्स ऑफ हनी बीज, करंट अफेयर्स का ही वो माइक्रो थीम था, यूनिक ट्रेट्स ऑफ हनी बीज। रिसेंटली साइंटिस्ट हैड अंडरस्टूड दैट हनी बीज कैन अंडरस्टैंड ऑड एंड इवन नंबर्स एंड हनी बीज कैन परफॉर्म वैगल डांस, जिसकी वजह से रोबोट्स हैव बीन डेवलप्ड और आर बीइंग डेवलप्ड। करंट अफेयर्स का ही माइक्रो थीम है, नहीं पढ़ रखा था स्टूडेंट्स ने। फाइन, बहुत ज्यादा करंट अफेयर्स पर के पीछे मत भागो, न्यूज़पेपर वाइज माइक्रो थीमेटिक एनालिसिस करो फॉर एवरी सब्जेक्ट इंक्लूडिंग योर करंट अफेयर्स। Kundan, 100+ micro themes is available in the prelims dominate. Guys, please don't confuse yourself with the earlier versions of this module. Chandra is saying, sir, decrease fee. Chandra, this is the most slashed down version of dominate. Further decreasing of fee is not possible. Chandra. SM is asking, sir, just joined your Zoom session now. Would I be able to watch this Zoom session again? I'm not sure, SM, whether this recording will be shared with you or not. Guys, I think I have answered all the queries asked in the chat box. अगर आपका कोई भी डाउट बचा है, I'll give you 1 minute. Either ask it in the chat box or raise your hand. I'll allow you to speak. I'll allow you to ask. Otherwise, we can end. Quickly, guys. Last 1 minute. सृष्टि, अंजलि, ज्योत्सना ने काफी सारे बात की है, काफी सारे डाउट्स क्लियर कर लिए ऑलरेडी। कुंदन, अमित, मोनिका, आई थिंक तुमने लेट ज्वाइन किया है। मनोज, ऋषभ, देवजीत, यशस्विनी, अगर कोई डाउट है गाइस, आस्क इट। फाइन गाइस, फाइन। टू सम इट अप इन अ मिनट, वी स्टार्टेड at this note, we have a little more than 2 months to go, and what should be the best possible utilization of our next 2 months? How should we not just spend our time, our efforts, our energy on revising macro themes? Macro themes ka ab zamana gaya, guys. We need to go beyond the obvious. We need to go beyond the macro themes. We need to go micro, like not putting a lot of disproportionate efforts on macro themes. This we have already discussed. Bulky and directionless notes follow nahi karne, guys. You need to follow micro themes. खुद से कर सकते हो कर लो guys, नहीं कर सकते हो तो मॉड्यूल ज्वाइन कर लो, ठीक है? क्लियरली मैंने सामने रखा है, कंपल्शन नहीं है ज्वाइन करने का, कर सकते हो कर लो, नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो guys प्लीज सीक हेल्प। एंड अगेन, लेजी कंपाइलेशन फॉलो नहीं करना है, एंड लेजी अप्रोच lazy attitude towards your prelims preparation nahi rakhna hai, guys, because that's a very risky approach to take. Because prelims, aap sabko pata hai, I don't need to say this, randomness in UPSC is increasing year after year, and the only way to increase that randomness to some extent and increase the predictability to some extent is by following the micro themes being used by UPSC to frame the question papers. Now, there is one final question that I have been asked. I'll address it and then we can end. Sir, how Amit is asking, sir, how to learn proper paper solving technique? Amit, you'll get access to paper solving workshop as part of the module. One last question from Jyotsana. Jyotsana is raising hand. Yes, Jyotsana.
So when we usually hear previous year toppers discussions, they usually tell that, okay, study very minimum, study very less quantity of data. And I have already cleared prelims previously. So I already know that with by studying very little, we can't clear this exam. We do need clear knowledge. So can you please give an, like, what are they telling, and why do they always ask us to study very minimum quantity, very minimum number of books? And I don't think that we can clear the exam by studying very minimum. So what is
the answer to your question is ingrained in your question itself. Jyotsana, you have said that you have already cleared prelims. Right?
Yes.
And you believe that studying too less or having a very minimalistic approach toward prelims can be a recipe for disaster. This is what your belief is, and your belief has worked for you. You have done rigorous preparation, rigorous revision, and you were able to clear your prelims exam. Fine. It doesn't matter. Yes, Jyotsana, bolo.
Sir, if we go through the contents which sir have given today, like whether it be on ancient poets or like on the archaeologists, these are available in books like Ubendra Singh. But it is very tough to study books like Ubendra Singh, and people often ask us not to go for such books. So what do you have to say on that?
Okay, like, see, I don't know what. See, Jyotsana, I don't know what a particular ranker or a particular set of rankers have said.
Okay.
I'd advise you this. I know some people might not like this thing, but guys, this is true. Always take rankers' words with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Trust your own instinct. Trust your own experience. Something that has worked for you, stick to it.
Okay.
Fine. And as you have said, this information that you found very relevant, keeping in view the PYQs UPSC has asked, the micro themes that we have discussed, and you are saying that this information is available in some book, Upendra book, Upendra Singh वाला book. ठीक है, आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट की उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन दी गई है, एंशिएंट पोर्ट्स की उसमें दी गई है क्या, एक चीज. दूसरी विजयनगर एम्पायर के बारे में जो हमने पढ़ा है, उसमें दिया गया है क्या. अच्छा, मैं आंसर कर रहा हूं. दैट इज वन थिंग. So these are just 3 examples that we have taken. Guys, the 100+ micro themes that we are going to discuss as part of the module, they would never be taken from a single source. ठीक है? They will have to be researched. They will have to be collated. They will have to be filtered. Say for example, आप जिस किताब का नाम ले भी रहे हो, is the reference so crisp? हमने जितने crisp तरीके से इन points को cover किया है, इन micro themes को cover किया है, would you be able to cover those
that is a difference.
micro themes in this crisp manner from those books?
No, it is very difficult to retain the contents from that books, and it is very easy to retain if we have ready data available. So
yeah, exactly. So see, you are finding this compilation easy, and you are finding that compilation is from that particular difficult precisely because of one reason. And that one reason is we are anchoring ourselves to the micro theme. We are not going broad. Fine. We are not just beating around the bush. Ki art and culture pad lo, archaeology pad lo. That's a very broad and superficial thing to say. We are saying contributions of British archaeologists pad lo. Now, this is a very pinpointed and precise effort towards following micro themes that UPSC has been following in the यूपीएससी पेपर्स, जिस तरह से यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन फ्रेम कर रही है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट रीजन वी आर एबल टू कीप इट क्रिस्प. अगर हमको ये क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट नहीं रहेगा कि कौन सा माइक्रो थीम फॉलो करना है, हम क्रिस्प नहीं रख पाएंगे नोट्स को. आवर नोट्स विल बी वेरी वर्बोस, डायरेक्शनलेस. एंड शुरुआत में हमने वही बोला है, verbose directionless notes are not worth your time, they are not worth the ROI. Fine. So that's why we are putting in a lot of emphasis and efforts on the notes derived from the 100+ micro themes that we are discussing as part of the logic booster score booster module. I hope we are clear now. Jyotsana.
The thing is, I already know the themes. Like, I have an idea from which portion the questions will be asked, but I don't have the material for those topics. Did you go to what exactly? I know the questions will
किताबें नहीं है ज्योत्सना तुम्हारे पास. तुमको पता है कि इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, तुम्हारे पास किताबें नहीं है. और अगर तुमको
उसमें that it is spread out.
It is very spread out.
The 80%, yes.
Two ways. दो रास्ते.
It will be spread out.
There are two ways, two options with you. One, open up all the sources, compile all the relevant data, filter it out, and make a very condensed, beautiful micro note based on these micro themes. That is one option. Second option, enroll in this.
Okay.
Choose one of those. Fine.
Okay.
Jyotsana?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Fine. Tej, you are asking one last doubt. क्या doubt है तुम्हारा? You came last minute. Will you provide compilation for this 100 micro topics? See, this is for enroll students. Tej, enroll students के साथ ना सिर्फ ये compilation share होंगे, but class में इनको हम discuss भी करेंगे in detail. Fine. So guys, on this note, let's end this session. I hope this session was insightful and fruitful to you, and I sincerely hope that you were able to take away some productive inputs that can add value to your preparation. And definitely we have discussed the Dominate Prelims Score Booster module, where we will be covering all these micro-thematic analysis in detail, and also we will be having live Zoom sessions for paper solving approach. All right, guys, thank you for joining in, and thanks for sticking till the very end. It was a great session from my side as well. It was an interactive session. Fine, guys, chalo. Good night.